Imagine being stranded in a foreign land, far from your family, sold into slavery, and fighting for your survival in a desolate desert. This is the harrowing journey of Najib Muhammad, a young Indian man whose story will both shock and inspire you. Welcome to The Small Explainer. Today, we dive into the intense and heart-wrenching tale of the goat life. Aadujeevitham. Based on a true story, this film took 16 years to make, and it tells a story that will stay with you long after the credits roll. Our story begins at a Saudi Arabian airport where Najib arrives for the first time, filled with hope and uncertainty. Passport checks, unfamiliar Arabic words, and the weight of being so far from home make him nervous. With his friend Hakim by his side, both of them, only familiar with Malayalam, struggle to communicate. They wait for their sponsor, or kafil, but as time passes, no one shows up. Desperate and confused, they are approached by a man offering to help. Little do they know, this is the beginning of their nightmare. Najib and Hakim are led into the desert in a broken-down pickup truck. The journey is long, disorienting and silent, with nothing but the cold desert air and the endless expanse of sand. Their kafil, who barely speaks to them, drives them deeper into isolation. After hours of travel, they arrive at a remote farm where Hakim is taken away, leaving Najib alone and terrified. Days turn into months as Najib toils under the unforgiving sun, tending to goats and sheep, his body weak from hunger and thirst. The once hopeful young man is now a shadow of himself, trapped in a life of slavery. His pleas to his kafil for a phone call home are ignored, and his only contact with the outside world is the occasional sight of another worker who, like him, is lost in this desert prison. As time passes, Najib loses track of the days and his body withers under the weight of endless labor. His mind wanders back to his family, his mother, his wife, the future he had once imagined. He dreams of freedom, but every attempt to escape is met with brutal punishment. He is beaten, tied up, and left to suffer in the desert heat. In his darkest moments, Najib finds solace in his faith. Under the blanket of stars, he prays for strength, for freedom, and for the chance to return home. His body is broken, but his spirit clings to the hope that he might one day see his family against the Mai. Finally, after what feels like an eternity, Najib finds a sliver of hope. He meets Kadiri, an African worker who has been in the desert for years and knows the way out. Along with Hakim, they plan their escape. One fateful night, while their kafils are away, they seize the opportunity. They run, carrying nothing but their will to survive. The desert is unforgiving. With every step, Najib and his companions are met with new challenges: heat, thirst, exhaustion, and the constant fear of being caught. As they flee, their bodies weaken. Hakim collapses, unable to continue, and dies in the desert, a victim of the merciless conditions. Najib is devastated, but he knows he must keep moving if he wants to survive. As a storm rages, Najib stumbles upon a water source. It is a small victory in a journey filled with pain. Kadiri, his guide, keeps encouraging him, telling him that freedom is close. But as the storm passes, Najib finds himself alone. Kadiri has disappeared, leaving behind only a bottle of water and a few dates. Now, Najib's fate rests in his own hands. With his last ounce of strength, Najib reaches the main road. A passing car stops and a kind sheikh takes him in. For the first time in what feels like an eternity, Najib is safe. He is taken to a nearby Indian community who help him recover. He is finally able to speak to his wife, hearing her voice and the sound of his child, a moment of pure relief after years of unimaginable suffering. Najib's journey back to India is bittersweet. He has lost years of his life, but he returns with the most precious gift, his freedom. As he steps off the plane, he is greeted by his family. Though he has nothing to show for his time abroad, he knows that he has been given a second chance at life. The story of Najib Muhammad is one of survival, of hope in the face of despair, and of the strength of the human spirit. The goat life, Aadujeevitham, reminds us of the dangers faced by those seeking a better life abroad, and the unimaginable horrors that can happen when dreams turn into nightmares. Thank you for watching The Small Explainer. If you found this story moving, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more such stories.